Greetings. What's going on, guys? Hey, welcome to the live Q&A, man. We about to get it going. Before we do, man, y'all already know how I do. If this is your first ever live, man, we got to see who we got in the building, man. Just go ahead and type one in the chat, man. If this is your first ever live, we got to get all our chats up in here, man. We got to get our chats up in here. Type one in the chat if this is your first live. You know what I'm saying? If you come to a live before, type two. You know what I'm saying? Type two. Okay, so see what we got in the building. We got Ghost in the building. Yo, like the Chris Brown song. Yeah. Greetings. Greetings. We got the Kid 81 is in the chat. Nightheart. What up? What up? What up? What's good? We got Christopher's in the building. What up? Fabian, right? Fabian's in the building. What's up, man? He's got the Mike Wazowski. He's got the Mike Wazowski icon on this shit. Guys, if y'all can hear me and see me, man, type one in the chat. I just want to make sure my audio is good. Akazia S. Probably butchered your name, man, but it's not disrespect, man. It's incompetence. He says, Wagwan, brother. Bless up. Greetings. Greetings. You know, the thing about pronouncing names is if you meet somebody and they pronounce their name, it's actually easier than reading it. Did y'all know that? My man Shinzo Yakazumi says, Corey, you in Florida? That's a fact. I do reside in South Florida. Ghost says, I lost 45 pounds using your methods. Let's clap it up, man. Let's clap it up for Ghost, man. Ghost lost a 40 ball, 45 of them things, man. He lost a lot of that big ass belly using my methods, man. You guys want to do that as well? I would advise you just go check out my free fat loss course. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat below so you can be next. My man Bryce Nichols says thoughts on built protein bars. I don't really have no thoughts on them, bro. To be honest, I would need to actually see the label, see the macros on them to give you my thoughts. Whenever I'm talking about a product, I'm talking specifically about it as it relates to the macros and whatever goal that I'm speaking about. So if you're looking at a bar, man, like the bar is what it is, but you have to look at how it relates to your goal. So if your goal is to lose fat, does it help you stay in a calorie deficit and get your protein goals, right? If your goal is to build muscle, is it helping you build a calorie surplus and get your protein goals, right? That's my general thoughts on the built protein bar. I don't know what the macros are offhand because I don't be eating that shit. I know y'all think just because I be doing videos in grocery stores, I know all the products. Yo, I literally just be walking up to shit and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna talk about this," right? And I don't even know, I don't even know what I'm gonna say before I say it. I look at it and then I talk extemporaneously. Hopefully that was helpful, Bryce. Guys, if this has been helpful so far, just give me a thumbs up in the chat. We got Make You Happies in the chat. Says, yo, like the Chris Brown song. Yo, bro, what up? What up? What up? Mac 44. I only eat carbs right before exercise. That's good for you, Mac, man. What you want, a pat on the back or some shit? I don't even know why you said that in the chat, but I'm glad you came through. Appreciate your support. Guys, if you can hear me and see me, just drop a one in the chat. I just want to make sure all my audio is good on all the platforms. Ain't nobody said nothing on Facebook yet. Bryce can hear me. All right, cool. ATM car says, is gaining fats linked to genetics? Hell no. Right? It's not genetic. Gaining fat is purely based off your habits. People be saying that bullshit like, oh man, diabetes runs in the family. You know what I'm saying? It's in my genetics. No, it's not. The habits that cause diabetes runs in the family, right? You're not big bone, right? Ain't no big bone people in your family, man. You just got big bone habits. You got big belly habits, right? That's the truth. So, what are your thoughts on sweet potatoes if you're trying to lose weight? I think sweet potatoes could be great at helping you build a calorie deficit. It's full of fiber, relatively speaking, low carb. I think it's cool. All right, we got some ones coming through. Lee Themon, what up? What up? My My man says, call me whatever. Just don't call me late for dinner. It's pronounced Acacia. Acacia. Acacia is not hard. I like that you gave me. See, I'm a phonics kid. Like when I grew up, they had phonics in school. Guys, if y'all had phonics in school, type of P in the chat, right? So you like we sounded words out like that back then. Rakshini says, wow, a black man. I am a black man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bryce. Shout out to P Funk. Y'all had phonics in school. My man's Fire Flame says, holy macaroni, you're jacked. I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's light work, man. I'm just consistent, right? I'm not that special. I'm just consistent. Renee says, what is that? What up, Renee? I don't know what you asking. My man says, yo, do you like Costco protein bars? I don't even know what bars is at Costco right now, man. I ain't even got a motherfucking Costco membership, man. I just went in there and did a couple videos with some of my homies before. Do you think they are hiding something about Epstein's files? The only Epstein I know is Jake Epstein. No, not Jake Epstein, Craig Epstein. He's a character from Degrassi. So I don't know shit about what's going on Degrassi. I ain't watched that shit since I was in middle school, man. My man's Dylan says, nice headphones. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Renee says, phonic. Yeah. Okay. So I know, Renee, you have to have been born either in the late 90s or the early 2000s. Phonics is a type of study, right? So like, you know, you got like social studies, you got English class, right? You got mathematics class. Phonics was a type of class. It was like the relationships between sounds class, right? So you know, you learn about what's called phononyms and graphonyms. It's about the alphabetic language. Okay. I know I just blew some of y'all's mind. You like, what are nyms? Yeah, man. Like it was a class to teach you to enunciate words properly. You know what I'm saying? Shady Play says Michael J. White. Nah, man, I'm not Michael J. White, but I appreciate the compliment. Rakshini says, I find black people hot, especially you. You look handsome. A lot of people would agree with that. Thank you very much for the compliment, sweetheart. Breda, what's your squat routine? After my motorcycle accident, I have a titanium rod in my right leg. I can't do deep squats anymore. You know, how to work around that. So this is my go-to squat routine. Yeah, Renee is young as hell. She a 2000s baby, man. She wasn't even alive when I was fucking doing phonics, right? All right. So Acacia, my brother. So what you are gonna want to focus on is the different muscles that are incorporated in your squat. Okay. The squat is a compound lift. So when everything's working properly, meaning your posterior chain, your anterior chain, and then your lateral muscles, right? So what the fuck does that mean? When your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves, your quads, your hips, your core, when everything is working properly, you can squat with depth with no problem. Okay. If that made sense, guys, just drop me a thumbs up in the chat. Just make sure y'all still with me. All right. Now, here's the deal. If you got a titanium rod in your right leg occasion, bro, that means something as far as the kinetic chain in your body is a little bit off. So to like basically overcome that, you have to really identify where the link in the chain is messed up. Is it your hip mobility is impaired? Is it your hamstrings are tight? Is it your glutes are weak? Is it your core is not engaged? I don't know. I'm not watching you squat, but if I saw your squat, I'd be able to tell you. My basic recommendation for you, because most people's problem when they squat is they be doing that motherfucking grandma squat. Y'all know the squat I'm talking about, where your knees go way over your toes. You know what I'm saying? You look like you're doing a cat daddy. You just leaning forward, right? You ain't really getting your posterior chain engaged. Your glutes are turned off. your hamstrings are barely getting engaged, and your core is not braced. So the solution may just be warming up your posterior chain first. This is something I teach pretty much all my clients nowadays, right? Because most people got what? Back pain, knee pain from sitting on their ass all day, right? So the best thing to do is focus on warming up the posterior chain first. Start from the bottom up. Warm up your calves, warm up your hamstrings, warm up your glutes, and then squat, because you might be able to engage the muscles on the back better and then get better depth. Guys, if that made sense, right? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat just to make sure. All right, because I got one more recommendation for Kasia, then I'm gonna come to the next other questions. Okay, so Kasia, that means start with calf raises on your next squat day. Do a few sets of that, right? Just to pre-exhaust the calves. Then go right into some hamstring curls, right? Make sure you warm up the hamstrings. Then go into maybe like a few sets of like something for your hips, whether it be like hip thrusts, glute bridges, or just do the hip abductor machine, right? Then you go right into your squats, right? Now, if you can't squat full depth yet, just do box squats. Get you like a bench or a box, sit your ass down on that, stand up, right? That's a box squat. Essentially doing that, you know, you might notice a difference in how well your legs are engaged on the squat. My man, Tiny Gym Guy says, what's your most effective leg exercise? It's definitely squats. That's why we're going so in depth on it. Guys, if that was helpful information for you, go ahead, drop me a thumbs up in the chat. My man, Tiny Gym Guy says, are you by a jet engine? No, I'm not. It's probably just the AC in my apartment that you hear. Outdoors fun, 6'10", 290, want to lose 25 to 30 pounds, mostly belly, chest, need a better diet. If you want me to do your stats, man, I can do some BMR. I could do some macros today. If you want me to do your macros, I need your age, height, and your age, height, weight, and goal, and I'll tell you exactly how much you should be consuming. My man's Mr. Dull Benet says, dude, please reply if you think it's good or bad. I don't know what you're asking me. Anthony Steen, what do you do if there's a hurricane where you live at? I just stay inside. All right, here we go. We got Brandy, new creator, is 280 pounds. God damn, Brandy, you big as hell. Okay, I have to help you out, right? Any woman over 200 pounds, I have to help her, right? Because there's no reason you should be that heavy, sweetheart. All right. So we about to help save Brandy's life. Brandy, go get you a pen and pad. All right. We about to get this together. Okay. Because what we're going to do first, guys, if you've never seen me do macros before, it's pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty simple. She said, I don't look it, but yes. I already know you. I know you out here getting gas because you tall and everything. 5'7" is pretty tall for a woman. But listen, we got to get you down. We got to get you healthy. All women should be under 200, man. Any woman over 200 is big as hell. Any man over 250, y'all not exempt either. If you a man over 250, you are also big as hell. Okay, right? We about to change that. So what we do for macros, guys, this is what I'm doing for Brandy. I find her BMR first. Now, BMR stands for basal metabolic rate. That's how many calories your body burns at rest, right? So then for her, it's 2,000. So all we simply have to do, Brandy, and anybody else who's doing this on their own, once you get your BMR, you subtract calories to put yourself in a deficit, right? So for Brandy, I would just say go 200 calories less than that. That would put you at 1,800 calories as a goal. You can actually even go even more aggressive because with the parameters of protein I'm about to tell you to hit, it might be a little tough to get as a lady, but I'm gonna give you these numbers and just work your way up to the protein, get as close to it as you can. So we're gonna go 1,800 calories as the goal, right? Then we're gonna go 180 grams of protein, 130 grams of carbs, 65 grams of fat. You do that every day, Brandy, you're gonna lose all kinds of fat. And I guarantee you'll hit your protein every day if you do what I'm about to tell you next. Guys, if this has been helpful so far, just drop me a thumbs up in the chat, please. I just want to make sure like this is some good game for y'all, right? That I'm not putting y'all to sleep with all this math and science, right? So good rule of thumb is the 2 shakes, 2 solid method, right? That's basically start your day with a shake, protein shake. I mean, double scoop it, right? Make sure it's got like 40 to 50 grams of protein in it, right? Then the next meal, get you somewhere between like 4 to 6 ounces of a dead animal, some type of protein source. Then you do another double scoop protein shake, right? And then you end your day with another 4 to 6 ounces of another dead animal. You can do a little bit more if you want, but like I think for your goals, where you at, Brandy, that should be enough. Guys, if this has been helpful, you want some more help with your personal fitness goals, right? Just go grab my free fat loss course. It's in the link in my bio for you guys in TikTok land, and then y'all in good old YouTube and Facebook. We're gonna just drop the free course again in the chat, so y'all can have that. Right, y'all can have that. What's the best protein shake? There is no best protein shakes, man. It's just whatever you can tolerate, digest, and hit your macros, man. My man says, yes, party on the boat during the flood. What flood? Brandy says, thank you so much. No problem, Brandy. Glad I can help. Anthony Steen says, your house is full of water and you're partying. I ain't got ain't no water in my house right now. What y'all talking about? Y'all talking about like, is these like hurricane jokes? RJ Junie says, I'm new. What up, RJ? Welcome. Diego, I'm on my journey, but someone wants to take me to Crumble. Should I go? Nah, fuck them. Fuck Crumble, man. It should keep your stomach big as hell. One cookie is like 1,000 calories. It's crazy. Where you from, brother? I am from Detroit, Michigan. But I took my talents to South Beach, man. Now I live in South Florida, man. My man's Wayne Jarvis says, hello from Cape Town. Shout out to Cape Town in the building. What up? Thunderlord, have omega-3s helped you? Tremendously. Before I started taking them, that was when I had that knee tendonitis a few years ago. If you've watched some of my YouTube videos, you may have heard me talk about how I got knee tendonitis. My man says, and it's expensive. That's cap. What the fuck? Like fish oils cost like $20-$30, man. What are you talking about? Right. But yeah, they've helped tremendously because like I remember when I had that knee tendonitis, I had a lot of inflammation in my knees, man. And I corrected that with some of the methods that I was telling Acacia about, just strengthening my posterior chain and getting my body better at the squat. You know, and then they started to reduce that. But during that process, I think lowering my inflammation in my joints, right, helping my joints get more lubricated through omega-3s helped a lot too. No, the cookies. Oh, yeah, the cookies. Them cookies probably is expensive. I ain't never had one. I respect myself enough to not put that shit into my my body. Outdoor fun. Can you do my macros? Sure, man. Drop your age, height, weight, and goal in the chat, and I'll do it. I tuned into the last live stream. Thank you for reading my BMI. Hey, shout out to Rock with you pulling up again. Thank you so much, man. Wayne Jarvis. I'm a personal trainer and cycling instructor. Yo, hey, you giving back, man. You doing God's work, man, helping people with their health and fitness goals, man, and improving their life. Do you know about CMOS? I know about it. I think it's overrated, right? Don't let the Dr. CB people hear me say that because they will go fucking crazy. They love that shit. But I think it's overrated, man. I think you can get a ton of those nutrients in other sources, and it's not that different getting it in one. Brother, please suggest me how to get a girlfriend. Just be the person that your ideal mate would want to date. You have to become the guy that the girl that you want would want to be with. You got to become a better guy. The best chest exercise is with a bad shoulder. When you got shoulder pain, if you're like experiencing that during chest work, that just means you have rotational issues. So you have issues externally, like rotating the elbow away from the body, and internally rotating, which is the elbow coming closer to the midsection of the body. So the best things to do is to keep your elbows tight to the body and then just press forward. things like plate pinches, champagne presses, or even doing chest machine presses in a fixed position where your elbows don't have to flare at all are great. Um, how about lower back plane in the center of the lower back? Any helpful advice? Conscious Shannon, absolutely. Anybody with lower back pain, you do not have a back problem. You have a surrounding muscle groups problem. Essentially, it boils down to you have either weak glutes, a weak core, or tight hips, or all three. So you correct it by working on your hip mobility, strengthening your glutes individually, and then strengthen your core. I have a ton of videos on this on my YouTube, but generally speaking, like I think you just focus on individually, like working those areas, and gradually it'll alleviate the pressure off of your back because those areas will take up some of the stabilization of your movement. If this has been helpful so far, y'all, hey, drop a thumbs up in the chat, y'all. Drop a thumbs up in the chat. I'm a personal trainer and coach. I'm new to this. Give me some advice. Post dope shit that people like get value from and post it every day. I had a mentor tell me like post dope shit often is the best social media hack there is, and I would agree with that. I have over I have over 6-figure followers on every platform that I use. So altogether, 1 million followers, right? I got 300 something thousand on YouTube, 400 something thousand on one of my Facebook pages, 300 something thousand on the other one, and then I got over 100,000 on TikTok, right? So that's over 1 million people who watch my shit collectively, and that's because I'm consistent and I post stuff that's helpful. So that's all you got to do, man, to get a good social media following, or to just help or attract clients if you're a coach or a trainer. How long have you been helping people? Morris says this, 10 years. I'm 10 years in the game now, baby. I'm an old veteran in the motherfucking game. I'm coached over 1,000 people over the past decade. Is dirty bulk the way to go? Nah, man. Fuck that. Stay lean, man. You know, why would you put on needless fat if you don't have to? And then fat cells don't go away. They just grow or shrink. So why would you do that if you don't have to? Jazz Nicole, I love your videos. I appreciate you, Jazz Nicole. Goose Man, always a good day when Corey streams. Hey, man, that's about to be every day for the next 90 days, man. I'm doing a social experiment, right? I'm just going to go live every day to give y'all some game, man. If you guys are liking the live right now, just give me a thumbs up in the chat. Carolina Cats, how do I get rid of a plateau? Carolina Cats, you have to understand that a plateau does not exist, right? Your body's an adaptation machine, which means it responds to what you tell it to do. So if you told it to do something and it did it, then you successfully got your body to adapt. Congratulations, right? If you told it to lose 20 pounds, right? The things that you were doing, either with your diet, your activity, right, your recovery process, all of that led to you being 20 pounds lighter. Now, if you want to lose the next 20 pounds, guess what you got to do? You have to tell it to adapt a new way, right? So it's not really that there's a plateau. It's just you don't know what the next thing is to tell your body to adapt to, right? So plateau isn't real. You just have to signal your body to adapt a new way. The only reason you stuck is because you just don't know how to do that, right? Here's some tips, right? I'm gonna give you some tips. I ain't gonna just leave you high and dry, right? So one thing is like you got to look at your macros. We're doing macros today, by the way. So if you want your macros done, just drop your age, height, weight, and goal in the chat. I'll do them. You look at the macros you've been on to lose the amount of weight that you've been doing up until now, and basically just assess like how long have you been on this, right? If you lost 20 pounds and you've been on these calories and macros, right? It might be time to adjust because your BMR has changed since you lost those 20 pounds. So has your hormone profile. So has, you know, a lot of different functions in your body if you did it the right way. So you may have to adjust your macros. Another thing is you could just double down on what's working. You could just look at your steps, right? Your activity level, for example, and just increase that. So if you lost, again, 20 pounds as an example, you've been doing 10,000 steps a day. Why not just do 15,000 steps or 20,000 steps, right? Because you can do that and not have to change anything, right? And 10,000 steps a day is like another 300 to 500 calories a day that you burn for the average person. Guys, if this is helpful information, just drop a thumbs up in the chat because I ain't done. I got one more plateau breaker. Yo, all you got to do is just do longer fast, especially with fat loss. All you got to do to break a fat loss plateau is just fast for longer periods of time. Think about it. If my BMR is like 2,000 calories, right? My body burns that by itself. If I just fast for 24 hours, that means I'm in a 2,000 calorie deficit. If I fast for 48 hours, I'm in a 4,000 calorie deficit with just my BMR alone before you add in activity. So here's the beauty of that. 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories. A lot of y'all didn't know that. Congratulations. You just learned something new just coming to my live today, right? So if I fast for 48 hours a week, I'll lose a pound of fat guaranteed before we even set in any of my workouts or any of my other calorie deficit stuff. Guys, if you want to learn more about how you can break past a quote unquote plateau, right? I don't think that exists, but if you want to learn some new ways to like just push your body past that, you got to start with a structure design, just to build you up to that point. Go grab my free fat loss course. It's loaded with more info like that. Michael says, Armstrong Army, what's the best time to take creatine? Ain't no best time, man. It's just take it consistently. Motherfuckers be overthinking that creatine shit, man. Listen, the only value you get from creatine is when your muscles saturate with it. And your muscles saturate with creatine after repeated use. So essentially, if you continue to take it weeks at a time, then you'll get the value from it. So it only becomes something that is like relevant to time if you have trouble being consistent with stuff, right? I always tell my clients, just pair the creatine with something you're going to do it every day anyway, right? If you're going to take pre-workout every day, just put it in your pre-workout, right? If you're going to take whey protein every day, just put it in your protein shake, right? But put it with something you do every single day. Jack Muscle says, advice for a trucker to stay fit considering the lifestyle. I've at this point, they might as well just call me the trucker whisperer, man. I've coached so many truckers to lose a bunch of belly fat, right? And they always think that it's like special for them until they get introduced to my system. Really, you just got to get a plan, bro. It's not like a special set of rules because you're a trucker, right? Yeah, you might have to be a little bit more creative than like a motherfucking desk worker, but it's the same rules. You burn more calories than you consume, and you do it consistently. If you're not losing weight, you're just not doing that. So you need a plan to put you into the caloric deficit. That's first, right? Don't be out here saying, oh man, I'm gonna eat healthy. That don't mean shit. Healthy choices keep you big as hell because your version of healthy is why you at where you at right now. You ain't wake up and say, man, I just can't wait to get fat. Nah, man, you did your best, right? But because you didn't have a plan and you wasn't focused on certain things, calories, macros, hydration, fiber, that shit I be talking about with y'all every day. Because you wasn't focused on that, you got fat. You flip your focus and you start tracking that stuff every day. Now you start to realize, oh, there's so much that I never considered with what I've been putting in my body. This is why I feel tired. This is why I be having night sweats, right? This is why I'm constipated. This is why I can't lose no weight, right? You fix that. Now what starts to happen is the weight starts to come off, and then it becomes a game because now you're hitting your calories, macros, your numbers every day. And then you're like, all right, how can I double down on this or change that? Right. And this is just the weight loss portion without me even talking about workouts. Right. You can do all of this before you even find time for your next workout, bro. You can do all this tonight. Right. Guys, if this has been helpful information so far, just give me a thumbs up in the chat. Because I ain't done. What's my man's name? Erie Dread says, do you think that pre-workout is really necessary? It's not necessary. It can help. It's just caffeine and stimulus, man. That's the effective ingredients in it. I would say this. Be careful if you start taking pre-workout, because pre-workout is like having sex, right? Once you do it, you ain't gonna never go back to life before you was doing it. You're gonna be doing it every day, right? Like, think about it. Y'all lost y'all virginity. Ain't nobody ever lost their virginity and be like, ugh. I ain't never doing that again, right? You be thinking about, yeah, man, I got to give me some more of that. That's how it's gonna be when you have your first pre-workout. You're gonna be like, man, I got to give me some more of that. So just be careful, man. Just be careful. But I think it's cool. Um, okay, ref, what up? I think I gave you some advice yesterday. What up, okay, ref? Um, my man Anthony says those legendary Pop Tarts are bomb. That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, ref, thoughts on artificial sweeteners? I think they're fine. In the context of what I teach the 80-20 rule. If 80% of your diet is real food that's non-processed, that don't have no sweeteners, the other 20% can have artificial sweeteners in it, man. You're not gonna fucking die like these dorks be trying to convince you that you are. What's the best protein shake? Ain't no best protein shake. Poland says, Corey, what supplements do you think are trash? I think any type of fat burner or mass scanner is like always garbage. It's always trash. I don't think about I don't think about fucking when I take pre-workout. Some people do. Some people do, man. Black coffee work too. Black coffee is a great pre-workout. It's the best ingredient. Would you rather follow a diet and training of Mike Israetel or Mike Menser? I've never seen any content of any of those people. Right. I'm so focused on giving value to the people that I serve. I don't even be watching other people's videos and shit. So I don't even know what they teach. Right. Only reason I know who Mike Israetel is because he pops up on my feed sometimes, and other influencers be talking about him that I watch sometimes. But I have no idea like what he teaches, what his stances are on anything, nothing. I don't know shit about him. And that's not disrespect. That's just I'm focused. Joy, can I lose fat and gain muscle at the same time? You can, Joy, if you are a true beginner. If you're within your first 6 to 12 months of training, your body will adapt very fast to both. I wouldn't say set it as a goal though, because to have the goal to lose fat, for example, what is the formula for fat loss? It is burn more calories than you consume, calorie deficit. What's the formula for muscle growth? Well, it's progressive overload, and then it's also ideally a caloric surplus. So you can't have the goal of being in a surplus and a deficit at the same time. That's like trying to turn left and right at the same time. That shit don't even make sense, right? But the human body is very adaptable in that sometimes in a deficit you can build muscle if you're getting enough protein and you're sending that stimulus with your progressive overload to do so. But that again, that only happens when you're like a super beginner. For all of us other guys and gals who've been training for more than a year, we got to pick one. George Haley, good afternoon. Greetings. What's up, George Haley? I think George Haley did an application. Shout out to George Haley coming through. Sir, can you help me with my macros? 41, 610, 295. Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do your macros real quick. So outdoors fun. Are you okay? So you're man 41. So guys, any man over 250 pounds is big as hell, right? So you, my friend, are for sure big as hell. Even though you're 6'10, I already know what you're about to say. Oh man, I'm tall. No, man, you still big as hell, man. You tripping. All right, 295. So basically what we about to do, class, is we're about to find my man BMR, right? My man Outdoors Funds BMR. The reason you find the BMR, that's your basal metabolic rate, that tells you how many calories your body burns at rest, right? So my man Apples asks, how do you properly clean bulk, right? So when you find the BMR, if you want to bulk, you add calories to the BMR, right? And you're quite conservative if you want to like clean bulk. If you're looking to lose fat, you subtract calories from the BMR, right? That's my method. So my man, Outdoors Fun, your BMR is 2250, right? Which is good news. Your body burns a ton of calories on its own. So what we could do is simply just take 250 from that, put you at an even 2000 as your calorie deficit. Then your goal would be this macro ratio. So I'm gonna take his 2000 fat loss goal, right? His 2,000 calorie fat loss goal, and I'm gonna insert it into a macro ratio, right? The macro ratio for him, we're gonna use 40, 30, 30. There's a reason behind that. If you guys want to know, I'll tell you more about it. But for you, Outdoors Fun is 200 grams of protein a day, 70 grams of fat, 145 grams of carbs, man. You do that every single day, Outdoors Fun, you're gonna get lean as hell. All right. Just make sure you get at least 1.5 gallons of water a day. All right. Guys, if this stuff has been helpful so far and you want more, just go grab my free fat loss course. I'm gonna drop it in the chat again for y'all. Apple says, what's BMR? Basal metabolic rate. That's what it stands for. Acacia says 1 meal a day is fine, but if you're looking into regulating your weight, just remember this: no food after 6 p.m., no food before 12. If you fast in that window and work out consistently, you'll see results. That's a fact. A lot of my clients do that, see great results. I do that a lot myself when I want to get leaner. Frederick Anderson, what are your thoughts on research saying that you can overeat protein and still burn fat? That proteins actually have 3 calories per, not 4. Not sure if this is legit information. I've never heard that before, right? Mind you, right? I am a business owner, right? So like I spend my whole day doing what? Managing my clients, managing my team members, and then constructing content to help you guys out, right? So I'm not privy to all the latest studies because I'm just not sitting around reading studies all day. But I've never heard that. If that's like a new study that came out to say that, I want to see it. Can you drop the link, man? I want to check it out. To my knowledge, right? And I've been, training certified, for over a decade now. Well, actually, we'll just say a decade now because it started back in 2015 when my journey started. I was always taught that it was 4 calories per 1 gram of protein and 1 gram of carbs, same things. So this is new information to me. My thoughts, generally speaking, man, is like protein has a higher thermic effect, meaning when you eat it, you actually burn more calories and it's more satiating. So you're less likely to overconsume. Think about it like this. You can go crazy on some cake, right? You can eat a whole cake in one sitting. But like, when's the last time you ate like, I don't know, 2 pounds of chicken at once? That'd be really fucking hard to do. It's really hard to overeat like just protein. that's how I look at it. What about eating 1 meal a day after sleeping under? Wait. What about eating 1 meal a day before sleeping as a trucker? Again, calories in, calories out. If you eat 1 meal a day, you might be in a deficit, depending on the size of that meal. So if your goal is to lose fat, that might help, right? Is that the best way to do it? I wouldn't say it is. I think it's tougher to get your protein in 1 meal, like for your goals. Again, if you need me to break down your macros, just drop your age, height, weight, and goal in the chat, and I'll do it. But yeah, man, like if you got to do it, man, to get in the deficit, do that shit, man. After 24 hours, what are some options to refuel? Should you load up on carbs and protein and eat or ease back into it? I think either one's fine. Anytime my clients do a 24-hour fast, I always tell them just get some protein and fiber in you. Pause. And then maybe some like dietary fast if you got room, but like protein and fiber is what? Like vegetables, grains, and fruits. So yeah. How much carb should someone eat at a deficit? Depends on their stats, right? Like I'm about to do my man's OK Ref stats right now. So it's not just one set of carb numbers for everybody. It's different for every person. So OK Ref, 6'4", 195. You wanna bulk, you said, and you want to be okay, I got you. So 195, and you are how tall? 6'4". Guys, if y'all liking the live so far, just give me a thumbs up in the chat, man. Give your boy a thumbs up. So you OK Ref, if you're looking to bulk, your BMR is 2,000. So all you got to do, guys, if you want to bulk, you just add some calories to that. I would say with bulking, I get a little bit more aggressive because the body's a little bit more stubborn to put on size, right? Because you have to create muscle. So I will put you at a surplus around 300, right? So we go 2,300 calories, right? But we're going to do it clean. So we're going to go carbs. We're going to put that at 50%. Protein, we're going to put that at 30% of your calories. And then your fats, we're going to put that at 20. So that would make your macros as follows: 2,300 calories to bulk. Okay, ref. 170 grams of protein, 290 grams of carbs, 50 grams of fat, right? You do that every day. Okay, ref. Lift some heavy ass weights, right? Progressing your lifts, you're going to get all kinds of gains. You guys want to learn the methods that I teach, man, to do these macros for yourself, just grab my free fat loss course, man. I break it down in there. Jay Garcia, your input on starting on an aggressive cut and then gradually adding calories. Yeah, man. Like, why would you not be aggressive on the cut, man? Get that fat up off you. Like, yeah, lose that fat as fast as possible, and then focus on the reverse diet. You know, that's what I teach my clients. I mean, look, I lost 50 pounds in 5 months because I wasn't bullshitting, right? I was like, I got to get this off, right? And then right after that, I wanted to kind of like a slight bulk and bulk back up to like 185. You know, now I live between 185, 190 year round. Okay. Rodrigo Morales, you inspire me every day with your videos. Thanks. No problem, man. I'm glad I can help. Ham sandwich. I'm 6 foot 22 pounds, male, trying to lose body fat. If you write your age in there too, I can give you your macros. How aggressively should you approach it if you don't want to lose too much muscle? What I teach Jay Garcia, just take your BMR, right? So find out what your BMR is. We're doing that here today. So if you want me to do your BMR while I'm still alive, just drop your age, height, weight, and goal in the chat. You find your BMR. If you just subtract 200 calories from that, and then you eat 40% of those calories in protein, you should be able to maintain muscle, no problem. Avi says, Unc, ignore my comment. I ain't even see your comment, bro. Go ahead, drop it again. Elizabeth Craggle, that's quite the name, says, yeah, thanks for that. No problem. J Poi Papas says he's 30 years. All right. Jay Garcia is 290. You big as hell, right? If you over 250, you big as hell. 25 years old. So I also asked for your age, height, and your weight. I didn't just ask for your weight and your age. Okay, Jack did it properly. Jack Muscle. What up, Jack? 5'8", 198, 26. All right, easy money. So 26, 5'8". So what we're gonna do real quick, just so everybody's clear on how we do this, right? We're gonna find my man's Jack's. We're gonna find his BMR first, right? So we take his weight, his height, and his age, right? And then we basically plug it into this BMR calculator. You guys can go find a BMR calculator on Google right now, or you can even go to ChatGPT and be like, hey, what's my BMR? And then it'll ask for your age, height, weight, and gender. And then you do that, you enter that in, and it gives you the number. Now, for my man, Jack Muscle, it's 1850. So your BMR is 1850. So what you're going to want to do, Jack Muscle, is subtract from that. So we're going to just subtract 200 calories from that, right? And that's going to put Jack Muscle at 1650 calories. So 165 grams of protein. Hold up. I got to get the rest of the stats. Hopefully you're writing this down, Jack Muscle, and you're not driving, man. You've been talking a lot about being in them streets, man. All right. So 165 grams of protein, 120 grams of carbs, 55 grams of total fat. Jack Muscle, you do that every day, man, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose all kinds of fat, big dog. Just come shout me out, man, once you do. All right. A Avi, my family doc was recommending I eat one chicken drumstick a meal. I told her I'm trying to build muscle, and she said that's what's recommended though. I'm 184 pounds, 5'11, 24 years of age. I think these docs crazy. I don't know what context she brought up chicken drumsticks. That's kind of random, ain't it? Right? You talking about building muscle, and she talking about chicken drumsticks. Like, what the fuck? Right? Like, that's like saying, like let's say, man, you're like, man, I'm looking to like catch a flight to New York, right? And she's talking about like fucking wheels. Right, like wheels underneath the airplane. Like, yeah, the airplane has wheels, but that's not why the airplane gets to New York. It's because of like all the other things. So the same thing with chicken drumsticks. Like, yeah, like chicken drumsticks, you can eat that, right? But that's not why you're going to build muscle, right? Why you're going to build muscle is like you need progressive overload, so you got to send a signal to your muscles to adapt, and then you need the protein to give your muscles, right? Chicken drumstick has some protein, but it's not like the best protein average, right? Your biggest hell line is so iconic. Hey man, I'm just telling it like it is, bro. Donnie Summers just followed, man. Yo, I appreciate that, Donnie. Hope you enjoy the content. You know, yeah, like. Hey, shout out to Elizabeth, man, showing some love. What up, Lizzie? Carl Chapman, I'm big as hell too. All right, we got another one. 360, 5'8", 27. Yeah, you big as hell, bro. I do not look like I'm 360. How to lose weight and build muscle? Hey, just write this down. I'm about to give you your macros. This would be the last set of macros I do. Guys, if you have enjoyed my live session today and you would like to see me go live again, just type live in the chat. And if you guys are liking it, man, I'll keep pulling up, chatting with y'all every day, man, giving y'all some game to keep you going through your day. All right. My man, what's my man's name? Carl Chapman, big as hell. Yes. My man, you are 25. Okay. So your BMR is 2,600 calories, which is good news. It means your body burns a lot of calories on its own, Carl. What we're going to do is put you in a deficit. We can get aggressive since you're over 300 pounds and just take 500 calories up off of that, right? So that will bring you in around 21, right? 2,100 calories as your goal. And then all we do is we just plug that into a macronutrient ratio, bro. So for you, it'll be 210 protein, 160 carb, 70 grams of fat. My man, you do that every day with at least 1.5 gallons of water, bro. Man, you're gonna lose all kinds of fat. All right. I see some people typing live, so we definitely gonna go live again tomorrow. I know your Buns Nest says you ignore my question. I didn't see it, but if you want to ask me a question, you can DM me directly, or you can just go check out my free fat loss course. I'm gonna drop that in the chat one more time for y'all. Thank y'all so much for the support, and yeah, man, we'll see you guys on the next live session. All right. Make sure that post before I do my peace out. 1, 2, 3. All right. Peace. Yeah.